Well, good morning, my friends. Welcome to another beautiful Wednesday morning vlog with John O'Leary. Delighted, as always, to be with you today. I wanted to begin by sharing with you a poem that used to grace my grandmother Kilker's kitchen sink. It hung just to the left of the sink. And the poem was written by a poet with the last name Hamilton. And I want to read it to you word for word so we hear it the way I read it as a kid. Here it is, one more time. I walked a mile with pleasure. She chatted all the way, but left me none the wiser for all she had to say. I walked a mile with sorrow, and never a word said she. But oh, the things I learned from her when sorrow walked with me. My friends, I remembered this poem. I remembered my grandmother's sink. When I walked into our family room last night, I saw sitting on our blue couch, Jack, Patrick, Henry, and Grace lined up like little dominoes ready to fall over. And they were watching a sitcom made for kids. And as I sat with them and watched the television that they were watching, it was funny thing after funny thing after funny thing after trivial thing happening. And the entire time, when it wasn't funny things happening on the television, they had created the show in such a way that there was a laugh track playing. And so it was constant pleasure, tickling our imaginations, making us feel for a moment that everything is fine, everything's happy, pleasure, constant talking, chatter, and never a thing actually learned from it. And I thought back to our lives, how frequently we fill our spare time with the sitcoms of our day. Sometimes on television, sometimes on the radio, sometimes by blogs we read or things we watch or idle conversations we have around the water coolers of our journeys. These pleasure point conversations where very little is actually shared and even less is learned. So where do we learn great life lessons? There's no doubt that we can learn a lot through the joys, through the flower, through the springs, through the grace of life. And yet if we are honest about it, and when we are honest about it, we also realize that in sorrow, in difficulty, in challenge, in adversity, in death, in brokenness, we find out so much more about who we are, about what actually matters, about who ultimately matters, and about what we are going to do in our lives to make sure that they are meaningful and that each day we are living up to the fullness of our promise. My friends, I'm not encouraging you today to seek out sorrow. But what I'm telling you loud and clear, so hear it please, sorrow will find us. And when it does, we can cross our arms and walk the opposite direction and turn back on the sitcom of life. Or we can awkwardly uncross our arms, take the hand of sorrow, listen closely for all that she is teaching us, and to realize that through these moments of struggle, we are learning some of the greatest lessons in life. My friends, for this time, and until next time, this is John O'Leary, and this is your day. Live inspired.